good morning, everybody. This is your man, Luke 1817. And as you can see, Moelle is not in the building today. She had other obligations to take care of. You know what I'm saying? It's a busy life out here. But I'm here today, you know what I'm saying, to bring y'all some conspiracy theory and current events on this Saturday. What's today? Hold on. Today is the 24th of February. So we're already like pretty much almost done with the first quarter of the year, according to the Gregorian calendar. Y'all know how that go. Um, so yeah, so today we're gonna be doing stuff a little bit different today because I have some pretty interesting things that's been happening that I'm gonna show y'all. You know, so y'all can see and y'all gonna rock out with me today. Y'all check my drip, check my fashion. That's my fashion for today. Got on the red, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of black, you know. I'm feeling good. Um, I've been in a space lately of letting the cards fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really stressing over nothing. Just, letting things work out as they're supposed to work out. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a good space to be in because I've been highly creative. That's the first thing that I'm very proud of. I've been extremely creative. Um, Creating new things, making new things, brand new ideas, new ways of doing things that haven't approached it, in ways I haven't approached it before. Like I'm just feeling extremely inspired and creative. So along with that comes a certain level of peace, even amidst the calamity. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a blessing for itself. And yeah, so that's where I am. That's where I've been. You know what I'm saying? Things have been progressing along actually quite smoothly. A lot is going on. Shout out to my brand Luke 1817, which if you don't know about that, you can go on Facebook and follow that. You can go on Instagram and follow that. You can go on YouTube and follow that. It's Luke 1817 on all platforms. You can go follow that. Shout out Halo City. You know what I'm saying? My dogs out there in Mobile area. We've been working together doing some things. Spill the Street of Mouthpiece, Conscious Cohesion. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a few shout outs to throw out there. People I'm working with. WPMM Radio, as you already know and understand. So, today, today is gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because um I don't know, it just seemed like everything kind of like happening all at one time. Like and it's speeding up like hold on, let me see. Let me make sure everything's good. And the timeline is speeding up for real. That's what's crazy. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? But the timeline like speeding up on us, like the more we pushing forward, the faster things are kind of like converging, like, on itself, like kind of like overlapping on top of itself. And it's very, very interesting to watch happen. So as I'm looking out there, because I get up kind of early, you know what I'm saying? I get up pretty early in the morning, so that way I can, kind of make sure that I'm aware of what's going on around me. Hold on, let me make sure my chat is on public. Edit privacy, public, change. You know, so I get up early in the morning, so I'll be like kind of privy to like see what's kind of going on, the stuff that they try to like push through the thing right quick before everybody wake up to be able to see it. And I came across this, which was like I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And I wish that this was more widespread because you see what you're gonna see here is a lot of the elders of their communities were coming forward because they got a problem. And see, this is up there in Chicago. So this is a current event that just happened. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pay attention to exactly what they're saying, and we're gonna listen to these people word for word. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip right? And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell y'all what I think surrounding the clip. All right. So 1 second.
To the roll call. Very well then. Mr. Clerk, public comments now.
The council will now begin the public comment period, which is limited to a maximum of 30 minutes. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Speakers cannot yield or transfer their time to another speaker. Any written comments that have been submitted will be posted and made available for automatic review. Our first speaker today is Lisa Bowden.
Lisa Bowden is not present.
Our next speaker is George Blakemore.
Good morning to my black people here. This is disgraceful. This is Black History Month, and I see some of our beautiful ladies having on these African garments. You don't show your blackness by how you dress. You show your blackness by how you vote.
If you feel like your knees have lost all of the hydration in it, leaving you aching
Of course,
in constant and nagging.
that's right.
And some of you voted for sanctuary. If anybody needs sanctuary, black people need it. Now this over here, they very disrespectful. Michelle Harris and all them just talking while I'm talking. They are part of the problem. The black people have issues because you have poor black leadership. And Reverend Wu Wu got somebody up here praying for us. Just pray your way off this plantation. Pray your way into reparation. This is disgraceful. No boycott, no black, empty seats of black people. When it was packed with these illegal immigrants and packed with these white Jews and white Arabs. Where are the black people? The ancestors hate you. They never knew that you were going to turn out like you are and do what you're doing. You're disgraceful. The miseducation of the black man, Carter G. Woodson said, the miseducation of the black man. And what kind of man did they make on the plantation? Use your imagination. It started with an end. We got to purge ourselves of that and become strong black men and women. You got no representation. Black faces in high places, but no representation. It's sad.
Even though my dog going off, because he in there going off on him. Everything he's saying is absolutely true. There's no representation. And it's sad because this is not just happening in Chicago. This is happening all over the country. And see what they're focused on in this clip, they're focused on how the immigrants or the people that don't even belong here are coming into their communities and getting precedence over the people that's been there 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. They've been living there and they've never received this type of help from the government, even in their local areas. Tax incentives, breaks, the different things that they're giving these people that don't even belong there, to the point that the people that don't belong there are beginning to start to try to push them out, and they're going down to their local politicians who just so happen to look like them. So the politicians that look like me are the ones that are disenfranchising me and creating the opportunity for everybody else to steal from me. It's the people that look like me. And as we continue forward, you're gonna see that more and more. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue, let it go, because it's like 2 or 3 more people that have something to say. You know what I'm saying? So, and it get pretty interesting. So let's go.
Look at here. This place shall be packed with black people. You have no crime. You're disgraceful. You to the ancestors. If Dr. King could see this, Malcolm X and all our heroes and sheroes, and Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed no blacks if they knew they were slaves. Don't you know we're still on the plantation? Don't let this fool you. Don't go there. You're not like these white ultimates. You're not like these Hispanic Alton. You're not like the Asian Alton. You're a black Alton. And remember your blackness. Remember where you came from and how you got here. And you haven't got over, looking back, how I got over. You haven't got over the legacy of slavery. You're still on this white man's plantation in a high place.
Mr. Blackmore, thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is Tawan Sims.
Sweetwater helps music makers make more music. How? Less time waiting.
Now, one thing I want y'all to pay attention to is pay attention to how much the people that are sitting on the panel right here, that's right here in front of you right now, pay attention to how much they're moving around, shifting, leaning over, talking to each other, while the people are standing up there talking. So, and there's a couple of different things to understand, you know what I'm saying, like looking at a situation like this, because even the people that are commentating or giving their redress to the city council, which is what everyone should be doing, mind you. We should all be doing the same thing, giving our redresses to our city council, because that's what it's there for. However, in the system that we live in, a lot of our areas that are more densely populated with our people, this type of news and information doesn't reach our ears. So we a lot of times don't know when a lot of the city council meetings are being held. So we're never really represented in those meetings. Okay, but that's another conversation. But pay attention to how these board members are moving around. They're being disrespectful. They're not really giving them the floor. And there's multiple reasons for that. Of course, we do know that we expect to have this type of outcome in the current state of the system, right? But you have to remember and pay close attention to the person that comes up that talks about the rules, okay? Because there's also rules to calling yourself the word called black. The word black does not get any respect. You don't get to demand respect when you're calling yourself black, okay? So there's more people that have more to say, so we're going to go ahead and continue this forward.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I find it courageous the way the man speak. I know y'all think it's entertaining, and a lot of us bow our heads to it because we convicted by it. But we losing in this city, black people. I'm the young black man that love black people. I'm a young black man that's wild about black people. But I'm also the young black man in this city that's being underserved, mistreated, and just basically made to be invisible. I've been attacked in this city, shot multiple times. I've been pushed to the side by law enforcement. For what reason, I don't know. I'm attacked by judges. For what reason, I don't know. I guess.
You see what he just said? For what reasons, he don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm attacked. I'm this. I'm going through these different things with my own city. For what reasons, I don't know. That's the issue, because you don't know the reasons that come with the repercussions of classifying yourself under certain type of names and certain terminologies. English is, or Old English is, the way of the common law. In this new law, we have the New Style English. But English and legalese is how we're navigating this ocean or this maritime admiralty law scheme that we have going on around this continent. And see, we don't understand the repercussions of calling yourself a nation that doesn't exist. African American. There's no nation called Africa America. There's no nation called black. You see what I'm saying? There's no nation. Where's the land? If I call myself Chinese, there's a nation called China. If I call myself Japanese, there's a nation called Japan. Where's Africa America? Where's black? It doesn't exist. So therefore, you legally don't have any standing, and you don't have the right to demand for somebody to respect you. Okay? All right, now we're going to continue forward because they got more to say.
Guess it's for speaking up for black people. That's the only thing I could think about. But we just received new representation. and Brandon Johnson. I was like, yeah, we got a smart black man in the school board, all these little different things. I was like, yeah. But then I think about other things. So to speak about what, I'm from Rogers Park. I'm from the north side for 30 years. I'm sure most of you all are here about Palino or East Rogers Park and not understand how can that be a part of the north side of Chicago? Multiple murders, unsolved. My brother was killed in 1995. His name is Walter Sims. I have not had a follow-up call. There was a young man murdered, a few months ago when the yellow line crashed. His name is Kenneth. He was murdered by a young man named Kamari. I know both of these young kids. Friends murdered, but one of them is going to get off because the charges that were filed against him were dropped. So the city is showing us that black lives don't matter, or black life does not matter to it. And we being condemned in this sense. We being forgotten in that thought. So I'm the young black man, Taiwan Sims, that love black people and want to see some type of resolve in it. Some reparation, maybe. Some understanding, hopefully. These are our electeds. We got Maria Haddon, Alderman Bill in the far south side. Everybody that should feel responsible. Everybody lining their pockets, everybody getting something out of it. Everybody, except for the people. So we ask, honestly, wholeheartedly, when do we get the consideration? When? Honestly, I'm from your Ward 49. We got a congressional woman been in the office for 24 years. When do we get some consideration? No, don't shake your head, Maria, because I've been hitting you up for the last few weeks. I'm sleeping in the 24th district, woman, and you still ain't, please. But sorry, y'all.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is Jessica Jackson.
Hi, everyone. Mark Barden here at Sandy Hook Promise. On December 14th, 2012.
And see, it's important to know too that these things exist. This is not just for Chicago. This is city by city, municipality by municipality, so that you can go down to city council and actually sit in on these public meetings and let your voices be heard. But if you never know when they are, or if you're being misdirected on purpose, which is what happens a lot of time in Pensacola, I still have yet to find a publication that frequents areas where the Aborigines live, and it says City Hall meeting such and such day, such and such day. I don't see any black leadership out here in the Pensacola area that turns around and says, hey, y'all, there's a city council meeting coming up such and such day. We need y'all to be there. That doesn't happen because the people that we're considering to be black leadership are only put in place to keep us away from the reality of what's going on around us. That's their job. Call it back blue leg, but that's why you never see anything change. It only keeps getting worse. Now our elders are being put out on the streets, you know what I'm saying, by city ordinances and city decree under things that most of them didn't even vote on. You know what I'm saying? And it's the reality because these are the type of games that's being played. So now this false representation of what we call black leadership in the Pensacola area and the Gulf Coast area is scheduled to fall down because you guys are using the plight of your people in order to grow and gain only for yourself and never giving anything back to the community. And that's not going to last. It can't last because it doesn't have any foundation. We're in a brand new paradigm. So seeing that these type of things are happening on a national scale, because you have to bring immigrants in. See, the thing that really drives me is that the way that this is moving around is that even the attacks, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? So first of all, you have to identify who me is, and we're getting to that point. And then you have to understand what that means when it says that no weapon formed against me. So something that's being thrown to you in a negative intention is still going to flip over to have a positive result for those that are chosen and protected. And this is what's going on. This is the time we're in. So when we're looking out into making America great again and all this other type of stuff, is because of fulfilling the prophetic code of understanding exactly who the people are that's being disenfranchised the most all over the world. And that's the people whose names and classification has changed over and over and over. So when you calling yourself black, black is only the current description of those people. You go back, Negro, African American, colored, and mulatto, and so on and so forth, because the name kept changing and changing and changing in order to keep you away from what the birthright is. You see? So these people are making their pleas, but they're making their pleas almost on deaf ears because of their political standing. And these people on this bench and panel, they know that they don't have to give in to any type of they don't have to give them anything, because again, there's no nation that's backing them up. This is political. This is a different type of understanding. But let's continue so we get through the video.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sure everybody knows about a movie, Scarface, right? It's a classic, Al Pacino, right? Everybody knows about that movie. And we focus on the famous lines in that movie. You know, the acting and the hello to my little friend and all that. But it's the beginning of that movie that matters. When those words are coming up on that screen, that's what matters. And those words say, in May of 1980, Fidel Castro opened the harbor at Muro, Cuba, with the apparent intention of letting some of his people join their relatives in the United States. Within 72 hours, 3,000 US boats were headed for Cuba. It soon became evident that Castro was forcing the boat owners to carry back with them not only their relatives, but the dregs of his jails. Of that 125,000 refugees that landed in Florida, an estimated 25,000 had criminal records. That's what's up. That's what has happened in the United States right now. All this asylum seeking lie, all this about refugees, no. What's happening is they're emptying out the dregs of their jails into the United States, into our communities. They're junking up our country. And yeah, we feel some kind of way about it because it's our country. It's our country. People like Vasquez and them, look how disrespectful they are. Now, you just gave that man a resolution for his father's restaurant. And every time we get up and talk, he's working this room. Look at him. Look at him. But he wants his resolution for his father to be respected. Vasquez, Lopez, all them want their people to be respected, but they can't even give us the dignity for what we built. But them, ain't no question about it. Yeah, Black History Month. The American descendants of slavery. And I want you to know, Brandon Johnson, I understand what Breakmore's saying about we still on the plantation, but what you're looking at right now, this is what a free Negro look like. And I'm telling you, we're going to get our city back. We're going to stand for our people. We're going to get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there. Anytime they can't give us 3 lousy minutes of their attention while we sit here and watch y'all get them all kind of money, you watch us. We black out here, and we're going to handle our business. You watch that. I'm a free Black woman. This is how we get down.
Now, see, this is the thing. Like the lady was just saying, the sister was just saying, it's sad that we're sitting here quiet and we're watching you give these immigrant people money after grant after grant, resolution after resolution, that they're just throwing money at these people. But then our plights are being overlooked and misunderstood. And it's sad that you have to get up there and even raise your blood pressure in such a way. But, you know, we're in an age where the energy is changing in our people. You know what I'm saying? So much has been going on for so long that it's time to pay the piper. You know, these are elderly people, as you can see. These are elders that's coming to the forefront. And then they had the young dude with them that, you know what I'm saying, is coming to the forefront, that's talking. So it's different aspects of the community. You know what I mean? So in this time, as we're being like pacified so much with, you know what I'm saying, you know, all the vanities of life. Vanity is what's being pushed to us the most right now. You know, We party culture, like, you know, highly sexual. Like that's what our society has become as a people. So because of that, we're overlooking the fact that this is the way that you get the results. If your voice is not heard, even though it was only what 4 or 5 of them in the room, you know what I'm saying? But your voices is still being heard. How many views this thing got? Let's see. Okay, quite a few. See, so the world is beginning to understand what's going on in this country with us as our people are growing because it's being broadcast. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we need more of right here, especially in the South. The South is a place where people are the most docile, like just go along, get along, don't worry about it. You know, it's cool. And it didn't always used to be like that. You know, this is a new thing. Like this is the children and grandchildren of the people that did create that type of movement. This is their children that's like starting to sit down and take it easy and not really care about this type of thing, you know, while all of the value of what's left for their ancestors is being robbed. You know, it's considered that my generation is the last generation to actually stand up and do something about what's going on. Because if we don't, then it's lost completely. The people under us have potentially zero understanding when it comes to digging into the reality of the world around them. That's scary. So hold on. Okay. She got more to say, so we're gonna continue on.
Thank you very much for your comments.
They're going on.
Our next speaker is Zoe Lee.
When you have these woke revolutions, it requires all of us at some point to say, no, not going to.
I'm going to start with the words of Desmond Yancey. This behavior is not only acceptable, it is an indication that he is unfit for leadership. Majority of the people sitting on city council is unfit for leadership. And I know this is not the same Yancey that didn't vote censure Carlos Ramirez Rosa because they would weaponize you. None of you public servants cannot afford to be arguing and fighting like children when it's a whole war outside. Let's get into it. It's 68,000 Chicagoans that are homeless. Majority of them are black. Our black kids are running rampant out here, record carjackings, record auto theft, and robberies. Downtown has 3 to 4 illegal families on every block begging for work and selling Kit Kat bars after $1 billion was spent on them. Where is that money? Where is the money for the South Side and the West Side communities? That should be the argument. It's 20 black aldermen and women and a lot of upset black constituents who voted y'all in. So run into the white media outlets who won't even run a story about stolen properties being taken in our communities, the displacement of elder people, the mass illegal evictions happening on the South Side, and the massive bed bug problem that the Chicago Public Housing Authority has had and is not being addressed. When it's a Chicago bed bug ordinance that is supposed to charge a landlord $2,000 per day. So just like the Latino, all the people in here that stick together, it should be the same with the blacks. And lastly, when are you going to find a floor leader? It's been 3 months. That should be another argument. We also will be voting no to bring Chicago home on March 19th. And Mayor Johnson, glad to hear you decided not to ask City Council to approve not another dollar for the illegals. If the crisis is so bad, the City Council members who are so concerned should donate their salaries to the cause like a real public servant should. Happy fucking Black History.
The lady, she just, you know, she said what she felt. You know what I'm saying? People get tired of always coming up on the lacking end, but just as much as they're coming down on their city council, they should also understand the rules, because it's not their fault that you don't know the game that's being played on you. You know, it's not their fault. Now, if you say it's just business, how many times we go into a place like, I'm just doing my job, you know what I'm saying? But you getting beat up or you getting misrepresented or mishandled, but that's all you hear. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. Because it's not their fault that you don't know how to interact. You know what I'm saying? It's not their fault. For instance, I see so many like of these like car sweepstake things. You like buy something or whatever, they put you in this drawing, and you know, you get an opportunity to win these cars or whatever. And people be winning the cars and stuff. But it's crazy because most people will never ever go into read the official rules like type thing. So they don't even understand that when it says no purchase necessary at the bottom, that all you gotta do is read the rules and you figure out how to submit without having to pay any money. But people don't read the rules. So most people, they're expecting most people to just go buy merchandise, but you don't have to do that in order to be entered into the contest. It's just like that. Because they know you're not going to read, you don't understand, you're going to come into them empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, they're going to take advantage of it. Now, if you know what's going on and you're able to enforce that you know what's going on, even using their own game, then the situation changes. See, law is colorable. And like these people said, they're sitting up here taking all the money and lining their pockets with it, and then lining the pockets of their constituents, because you guys forget that the Mexican community, the Hispanic community, took millions of dollars to the government. That was the Biden, no, was it Barack Obama? I think it was either the Obama campaign or Biden campaign. They paid into one of those campaigns for specific laws and decrees to be made with them. So all these migrants coming across the border, don't think that, man, we have to understand the game that we're in. See, things are for sale, things are up for grabs. Who's going to take it? But you don't have the opportunity. And when I say you, I'm talking about the people that look like me. We don't have the opportunity to take it because we don't even know who we are. Even though we have the most to gain out of everybody, because we've been disenfranchised on purpose by those same people. You see, they have to hire the token black guy or the boule black man up there, you know, that's sitting on high in the city council, so he gets to act prestigious and walk around with the tuxedos on and with the big time suit, with the big time Lexus or whatever it is that he's driving, off of the pain and suffering of the people that he's committing treason against, that look like him. That's the way the game works. These people are here to open the door into our communities so that they can be robbed and pillaged. That's how you get police presence all around certain areas, and they don't touch other areas at all. See? Now, to understand the value or the reason why a certain group of people would be oppressed over others, you got to follow the money, because the money doesn't lie. You got new money, you got old money, you got Confederate money, you got colonial money, and it just keep going back, and you'll see where the money come from. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason why the oppression happens to this specific group of people, to where they have to come to city council and speak out like this. There's a reason why, and most of the general public has no idea, no clue. Yet some benefit from it, while others are still feeling the effects of being rampaged, just like it was in the very beginning. All right, now let's continue.
We just want to remind that speakers are reminded that people of all ages are listening to the public comments, and we ask that you please refrain and respect the others and refrain from personal attacks or using profanity. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Michael Young Bay.
Listen to this guy.
May I have your undivided attention, please?
Yes, you do. Good morning.
Okay. Because when someone's speaking up at this mic, shouldn't the alderman be talking or having no sidebar or nothing? That also is in y'all rules. Just as well as when the vote is on the table, when you're doing a roll call, shouldn't nobody be leaving in and out? But that happened during the Emmett Mitts incident. You see, y'all not respecting the rules, and so you're not respecting the public. And as the chairman, the mayor should be calling y'all out. That's what a chairman do. He don't sit back and allow y'all to break the rules. Because if we do something that you don't like, then you want to call the police. You want to have a person removed. You see, what we've been speaking about is about reparations. We've been down here speaking about fair wages, We've been speaking about the homeless of our people. And for the most part, it's been falling on deaf ear.
For any man with a swollen prostate, do not drink water. Did you know that prostate problems have
It's been falling on deaf ear. You can say I prophesied this day, because yesterday for the members that was here, I say it'll be us 3 + 1. So Joey here today. And I gave honors to Greg Mitchell. And today I give honors to Haddon, for him and my wife, for helping, assisting. Jeanette Taylor, for bringing us in her office to hear our plea. Also to Yancey. I give high honors to him too for assisting me, etc. We have to show more love and unity amongst each other, because it's a bigger fight out here. It's a real big fight because, I'm actually experiencing all these things. They say they gave migrants $9,000. Damn, they let us go all the way months to get in court to where our bill ran up to $9,000. We came down here. I gave you a hard drive with every information on there, Mayor Johnson, and you still haven't met with me and my wife. What's going on? Why you can't meet with us and the discrimination that was happening to us? Y'all be talking this stuff about the children and stuff. It started over Salvation Army discriminating against my child, a 5-year-old child. Well, at the time, 3. Broke my daughter hard that she can't go to the class that they had in the Salvation Army. She was crying for weeks. She have a delay right now because of that, because my daughter don't like just toys. Her number one thing is education in school. You see, I've been fighting a lot with the nonsense that's been going on. Then I come down here and it's the nonsense. And City Hall supposed to be something sacred, but yet y'all got somebody pastoring, sound like he running for a campaign.
Thank you very much, sir, for your comments. Your Honor, there are no further speakers who have timely signed up for the public comment
Thank you
period.
very much. Resolutions. We have 3 resolutions today celebrating Black History Month, honoring the legacy of the Divine Nine, and honoring the 157th anniversary of Morehouse College. Alderman Mitchell.
Now, see, you have to listen to what he's saying, because he said he's honoring the Divine Nine, which are the Greek lettering. So a lot of your Boule, which has already been understood, a lot of your Boule members come out of Greek letters. The Greek letters are actually a degeneration of the highest order of the melanated people. Okay, this was something that the Romans, the Greeks brought these things online as a means to uphold and uplift their societies. So the people that are actually moving about underneath the Greek lettering are actually moving about underneath the guise of aiding and assisting these people in their worldwide conquest of melanation. So they've essentially become familiars to the vampires, if you understand that terminology. You know what I'm saying? So this is their job. Like, you have people like Jesse Jackson that told Black people in the 80s that our classification is African American. You know what I'm saying? And then before that, you had the preachers and the politicians that were speaking about being colored and Black and these things like this. These people are employed in order to keep the original people, okay, the original people disenfranchised away from their birthright. That's their job. They're paid to do that. So when we look into our music scene and wonder why our music is so trash and why our music is so destructive to our communities, because these people are being paid to destroy our communities. Hip hop did not start like that. Hip hop started with education, with political standing, with spiritual understanding, with you know what I'm saying, fight the power and do these type of things. That's where hip hop started, because there was a need for that. And over time, it became degraded and bastardized into what we're listening to today. And we think that that's the reality of the world. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Our people are not designed to be in such a negative, corrosive state like we have fallen into. And we've unfortunately fallen into this corrosive state at the hands of people just like this, that's infiltrated among us, that look like us, but are literally selling our souls over to the hands of our enemies. That's his job. So he's been ignoring their requests. He's been ignoring their submissions, but he's helping people who don't even belong in America. This is the person that's heading all of this up. You see, we have the same thing going on in Pensacola right now. You see, the Chamber of Commerce was taken over by somebody, and look how the Latinos and the Spanish have infiltrated. They sucking it dry. You see what I'm saying? And we're none the wiser. People here none the wiser. They're just looking at it like, oh wow, another Hispanic restaurant, another Mexican restaurant, another taqueria, another one. Where are they getting this money from? Nobody asking no questions. You know what I'm saying? Where are they getting this money from? This is what needs to be understood, because these are the reasons why the people that used to have the ability or the buying capacity within the city to purchase things and to move around and do things and get newer cars, now all of a sudden their purchasing power has all but been eliminated if they're not able to keep up with the current paradigm and the current regime or the blending. You see what I'm saying? So that's a lot of our elder groups that are being disenfranchised because they're now having to be incorporated into a blending that they never saw coming. And you have to be a part of it. And the prices are like it's California. That's on purpose. See, this type of thing that we're looking at on the screen right now is just a fraction of the bigger picture of what's going on in our country, because it runs deep. So now we have so many people that play the game. Well, if you can't beat them, then just join them. And so many of us are doing that. That's how you get people like this. That's how you get people that go through colleges and think they're more esteemed than everybody else, just because these people, your enemies, are paying them to disenfranchise you. And that's their job. Keep them disabled mentally. You know, don't allow growth. Take all the books out of the schools, only in the black areas. Give them the books from the 1970s, not the updated information. Give them all the old stuff so they can't learn anything new. So that way they can't keep up. So it's already a design so that but still graduate them out. So you're graduating people that don't know anything. And then when they come out here not knowing anything, you're not given the opportunity to learn anything because you're being disenfranchised from the gate. Look at that. That recipe is for disaster. And this is all happening at the hands of people like this. Why you lose a Head Start downtown or Cervantes, all of a sudden they tearing it down. And that school has housed so many melanated children over so many years, and all of a sudden it's been marked for destruction. Malcolm Young basketball plays with, you know what I'm saying, a lot of melanated people. Let's face it, downtown Pensacola has been melanated for a long time. It's only recently transferred hands, you know, and this is many different areas. You know, it's the same thing. New Orleans, oh man, after Katrina, it's ravaged. It's ravaged. It's nothing like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about removing the final amount of wealth from the rest of the melanated communities. But the melanation that you're removing it from are the Indians of the land. See, that's a whole other topic in conversation. That's why you're getting these type of results. When you're prisoners of war, you don't get to have rights. The people that won the war get to tell you what your rights are. And this is what we're under. But however, we were established under a certain dynamic of government that those contracts cannot be erased. They can only be amended. And so we always get amendments to our Constitution, amendments to this, amendments to that, because certain contracts and treaties can never be done away with because they were put in place by us. See, there's a whole lot to learn. There's a lot going on here, and there's a lot that's happening as far as our world unraveling and us getting into new paradigms of thinking and new paradigms of understanding. It's time to pick new leadership. Don't judge it by how nice the suit is or how eloquently they can stand up there and thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. It's time to grow beyond those things. You know, while they disrespect the name of Yehoshua. Jesus, what is that? You see, we do that, but we don't even know what is that. You don't even know what that is. It's spell. It's a spell work, you know, and we have to understand the spell so that you can navigate your way out of it. You know, it's a spell. Most of the people attending that do not, they grow by their own volition. The blessings coming into your life come into your life because you've allowed space for them to enter into your space. It's cause and effect. You are the cause, then the effect happens. This is the power that the Most High have given us. But now we reduce ourselves to where we feel like we're equal to everything that's going on around us, you know? That's impossible. You see? We're not even looking at the populations of the planet correctly, you know? Even if we look at it from 2020 until now, our planet has increased by what? Almost 2 billion? When we first entered into that wave, or maybe like 10 years before that, I think it was measured out at like 1 point something. You know what I'm saying? Or like 1.1, something like that, 1.2, right? And given population density and the way that populations increase, over 10 years time for us to have almost 2 billion people on the planet means that a lot of people that are on this planet are not human. You know, we're sitting inside of a bubble of everything happening at once. Just like it said inside of that book that y'all reading, that Christianity claims is theirs, the Bible. Just like that book there, because that book doesn't belong to any religion. It doesn't belong to a particular religion. It's a book, you know. And the reality of it is that it says that these type of calamities will be happening in the last day. So we're experiencing all these things at one time, where these things are actually coming into our everyday life, and we can't deny it. Like, how can you sit up here and deny these things are happening? People posting stuff to TikTok, to Instagram, to YouTube so fast. Like, these things are happening in real time, you know? So how can you continue to deny things that are that may seem a little bit off or a little bit outside of your understanding or awareness? These are the things that you should begin to cling to, because the spirit is dropping the breadcrumbs inside of the reality for those that have an ear to hear or eye to see. You know what I'm saying? And this type of thing marks this. These people have to fall down. It's over with. Like, the people who need to understand are beginning to understand. Those is elders in there speaking out. That's going to cause a chain reaction. You get your elders re-involved in politics and what's going on in their community, to where they're actually using their retirement age to be a voice for their people. Your elders, because that's why you have the representation of all these old men in the Senate, because the elders are the ones that have the time to sit there and you know, delegate and talk and think and sit there and be comfortable and talk and politic, because they're older, but they're still wise, or they're supposed to be anyway. So your elders are normally picked for that position because everybody else has chores and labor and different things that they have to do. So they don't have the time for it, you know. But it's only now that we have this, the elders that are in there now are deceivers. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, this ain't only now. They've been doing that. But they're deceivers. They've been throwing us off the wave, keeping us out of our birthright so that other nations can come here and strip us bone dry. Bone dry. While infiltrating us with prisoners. From Guatemala all the way up through Mexico, they opened up all their prison doors and emptied out the prisons. And then all of a sudden, now you have this influx of people trying to surge through on the southern borders, out of nowhere, overnight. These people are convicts. That's what's coming into this country. I watch YouTube and you see the police reports, or not the police reports, but them going out, and then they take the live camera, the body cam, or whatever, and you go up there in places like Montana, Idaho, where they have like these Indian reservations, but the TP kind, the TP builders, not the mound builders, the TP builders, and methamphetamine, fentanyl, all of these different drugs is rampant because our government is paying these people money that don't even supposed to go to them, while they false represent themselves as something that they're not. If you want to be healed, the sickness has to go. You know, and that's pretty much all it is to it. If we want to be healed, the sickness must leave. Okay. Now I had another, hold on, let's see. I had another one I wanted to show y'all too. Hold on. 1 second, 1 second. All right, here we go. Let me pull this one up, and then I will. 1 second. So we're doing conspiracies. But it's really kind of like feeling like more like education time or whatever, you know. But I hope it's not, you know what I'm saying? I hope it's interactive for you because it's interesting to me. Like I'll be seeing stuff, I'll be like, man, heck nah. You know, to see your elders sticking up, you know, standing up and sticking up for something when normally, you know what I'm saying, you see the videos of them trying to fit in with a society that really is clueless to what's going on around them, like, you know. So it's like, when can you depend on them? But you're seeing it more and more and more that you can depend on the people that's in your community. Start leaning towards the people that's thinkers, or the people that have insight to see something deeper than what you can see. You know what I'm saying? Our families we used to depend on those people. Those were the people that were lifted to the top of the community because they can think. God chose them to be able to see, so that way we not misled or deceived. But now those people are considered the black sheep. It's so weird. Problem. Okay, let's see. All right.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now.
This is
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Because it's the Joe Rogan Experience. All right. So we're gonna check this out. And the title of this one, all right, because I want y'all to see this. So the title of this one says "The Problem with DNA Testing for Native American Heritage" with Shannon O'Loughlin and Joe Rogan. Okay, so listen to what she says because it's very interesting on how she depicts Native American people. So just check this out.
But cultures aren't static.
Right.
And we're not static. And I think one of the major issues that American Indians have is that we are often stereotyped into this picture. And if we don't fit that, then we're not legitimately Indian. When you first met me, what did you think? Did you think, well, where's her brown skin? Where's the feathers? I mean,
You heard her? Where's the brown skin? Where's the feathers? Okay. So she already has a preconceived, she's telling you, people know who the Indians are. They know who they are. Now, what they're trying to do is graft themselves into something that they don't belong to, as usual. Okay. This is always the wave. When we turn on these movies, all you see is a sea of white faces. This is American movies now. You see a sea of white faces as if we don't outpopulate everybody else in this country. Okay. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. So now she says, where's your brown skin? Where's your feathers? Okay. Describing an Indian. Now let's keep moving.
I mean, this is
No, I did not
I don't think
that.
you did. But I
Some
guess it's a
people do?
rhetorical question. Oh, hell yes. So
well, are you 100% Native American?
no, absolutely
What
not.
percentage?
Are you 100% Native American? No, absolutely not. Then why are you talking?
Are you?
And that's
Is it
let's talk
racist?
about that. Let's talk
Can you say
about that. What other so blood quantum is an imposition from the federal government that has been used to weed out Native Americans. So the whole
Okay, now let's stop right there because they always do this. Always do this. They want to try to use the one drop rule. One drop of blood inside of your body makes you a Native American, right? And then they try to use by the mandate of the federal government. Okay. Now we all know that the federal government is liars. They've been lying. They do it. They do it. We just watched it happen, and that was on the local level. Okay. So when we come to these realities of these people speaking over something that has nothing to do with them, we've become so accustomed and brainwashed to that we actually think that she's speaking facts, but she's not. She's speaking conjecture. You have to go study the history for yourself. That's why I be telling y'all all the time, go look for yourself. If you don't go read the documentation for yourself, they're always able to pull these type of tricks on you. So turn the conspiracy that black people think that they have a Native American in their blood into the understanding that the only way you get this skin is Indian decree, Indian bloodline, full blood Indian bloodline. There is no mixture outside of the ones that are mulatto to mix with them. You got to understand what's going on here because, well, at some point we got to understand what's going on because tricks like this are going to continue to keep happening. That one drop rule is nonsense because anybody can say, I got one drop. Anybody can say, any of them can run up and say, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. At this moment in time, it's only about the pure-blooded Indian races of America because we're still here. We never left. We've always been right here, and we've been calling ourselves the wrong thing. Leaving it wide open for other people to try and claim, okay, abandonment rights to the birthright. Because if you notice, nobody in this country can call themselves Indians except the Indians. You can only be a Native American, you can be a native Floridian or whatever, however they try to word it, but they can never call themselves the Indians. They can't do that because legally you have to have if you come over here and you're like this, the pale skin, okay, the federal level, they know that you're not the Indian because the Indians don't produce this. The Indians don't produce the pale skin like this. The Africans produce this. So at the most, you can be an African or slave or Slavic, but you can't be an Indian because the Indian, as defined by the Webster's Dictionary, also in the Black's Dictionary, American is the Compton races of America or the Indians. India is superior. These are jewels, these gems. Write this down. Go study it for yourself so you can see for yourself that the words she's speaking have no validity. You cannot make her words valid without first identifying the original people of who she's talking about. How you even know you're a piece of those people if you won't even bring those people to the forefront to be identified as a part of you? You can't do that because you're going to be looking at me. You get what I'm saying? So even if you have it inside of yourself, that one drop that you're talking about, that you like to harp on and make such a big deal about, that one drop, even if you have it, you still have to bring the origin of that one drop to the forefront because that one drop didn't just stop existing with your line of people. That means that the one drop came from many drops. And if there was many drops, then there's more people outside of you. So there's some that are more closely related to the actual origin than just one drop. There were some people that got 1,000 drops. There are some of them that got 10,000 drops. Some that may have got 50 million drops. You know what I'm saying? So if one drop is what you're using to measure, how many drops did the origin have? So the origin must have been what? On 100 billion, right? So the people that have 500 million drops would say are more closely related to the original than you are. So how are you getting to claim Aboriginal status or Indian or Native American when you're the furthest away from the origin? By one drop? You see what I'm saying? All it takes is to think. We got to think. Now everything she's talking about is invalid. Because literally what she's speaking is it doesn't matter. This is false representation. You're not even the person that we should be talking to. We should be talking to the person closest to the origin. That makes more sense.
The whole idea of U.S. federal policy has been to assimilate Indians, to rid themselves of the Indian problem so that land and resources could be obtained, right? And so blood quantum was one way that the U.S. government could do that.
You see what I'm saying? You see? Blood quantum. That was a way that they could eliminate the Indian problem, get rid of us existing on paper, and give us these misnomers of black and everything that's telling you that you're deceased or that you do not exist. You're dead. Giving them all them misnomers and then get rid of this Indian on paper problem, because they're really the ones that hold all the rights to everything in America. They have all the land rights. The land patents are in their forefathers' names. You understand? These businesses that we're reusing at the top of the building because we buried the rest of the building underground, they don't need to figure this stuff out. You see what I'm saying? This is the games we playing. And we sitting up here worried about killing each other from the next. That's what we talk about in our music. That's what we talk about when we make a movie. It got to be somebody got to die. Even though this reality of what a lot of us grew up with, you know what I'm saying? But the facts of the matter is that our people are supposed to grow up. We're supposed to elevate in Christ. That's why they say in the dead in Christ will rise. The dead in Christ. Do you think that means somebody in the ground? That's not what it's talking about. The dead in Christ. You can be walking dead, like a lot of our people are, mentally dead. You can't even see what's going on right in front of your face. So the dead in Christ are going to rise. That's what's happening right now. You see what I'm saying? That's how you get elders going down to the city hall in Chicago saying, "Nah, you got us messed up. I don't know what you think it is." And they all aiming it right there at that black dude standing on high, thinking that he bigger and better than everybody because y'all go run into these people based on popularity. Oh, he's wearing a suit and these people pay attention to him, so he's more important than us. This is what happens. Look at the churches. Look at TD Jakes. Look what happened to TD Jakes. Look, all that came crashing down. Look, because you're worshiping people. Why? Don't worship the people. Worship the creation that gave them the gift. Then you're gonna be able to discern what's real from what's fake. You worship the creation that gives the giver of gifts. That's who you worship. You don't worship the man, lest you be deceived. You worship the creator of gifts. Then you'll be able to see. Okay, yeah, he full of it. Yeah, they full of it. Okay, I can rock with that because that's I can tell that's ordained. I can tell that's because, you know what I'm saying? God give me eyes to see and ears to hear. So I can tell that's of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a deception. I'm gonna let that go to the wayside. You see what I'm saying? You don't worship the person. You know, it's like, you know, these are the things that's going to help us. And see, some may say, man, we don't even need to know all this stuff, but you really do though, because your children already know. You know what I'm saying? Children already are excellent discerner of energy. They already able to do it where the parents are. You know what I'm saying? They're trying. Let me wear my crystals. Let me put this on. And some of the parents are getting through. But most of the parents they still don't understand how to feel the energy, how to feel the vibe of the energy, take the frequency and process it into real information. You know what I'm saying? They're still learning how to do that. Meanwhile, your children already understand the nature of that thing. You see? They already understand the nature of that thing. So in this time, we're playing catch up. So whereas what I'm saying may seem like, man, what are you talking? You talking all over the place or talking real fast, but I'm not talking fast. It's just the fact that you listening slow. Pensacola, you're listening slow. Gulf Coast, surrounding areas. You're listening slow and you're listening to the wrong things. You feel me? While the people that's coming in are living better than you right out the gate. How is that possible? And then you go talk to them. They don't speak a lick of English. What? I'm talking about Serbian, Venezuela, all up in I got homies in the north, all in the north. You got Somalian people, Ghanaian. They're taking over the north. What is going on? Africans over here, full reign. Come over here. They're getting paid to come over here. They're paying these people to come over here in our country and help them colonize it away from us. That means bringing their people over here so they can try to impregnate our women with different lines of seed. You feel me? So they can disenfranchise this Indian thing, because we're still full-blooded out here. We're still full-blooded out here. But before we wake up completely, let's try a last-ditch effort to wipe them off the planet without touching them, without creating war. Let's devise ways. Think about it. Trump say what? Put that wall up. Everybody fought tooth and nail. No, he's stupid. He this, he that. Now look, now the same one sitting up here like, we need help because they coming over here and they doing this to us and they robbing us and doing all this. No, don't renege. Don't renege. You the one said don't put the wall up. Trump's stupid. Trump talking this, Trump talking. And now look, now you begging for the same thing that you didn't have before. Well, yeah, boy, look. Better quit following anything. Yeah, better quit following anything. All right, let's go.
So if you didn't meet what they thought was some kind of purity test, then they could write you off, right? But that is not how many Indian nations view tribal citizenship or membership. It's through other types of cultural continuity, family relationships.
You see what she said? That is not the way that the Indians identified people, by that one drop BS. That's not the way the Indians did it. You had to, so the same way we do now, if you come on our block and the whole block is family and we don't know you, you are outsider. Somebody in the family dynamic has to know you and be able to approve you as a member of the family. You feel what I'm saying? You don't just come walk in and say that you're us. However, when we allowed the infiltration of our leadership, just like we just saw, that black dude standing on high, he the one that's throwing his people under the bus for a paycheck. Those people infiltrated the Indian dynamics of government. It was those type of people that turned around and then handed it over to the European invader or the African colonizer. You know what I'm saying? They handed it over. You see? And once you hand it over, now the rules can be changed to disenfranchise those people. Now the federal government says, oh, all it takes is one drop. Where now, who are these people that's coming in here talking about they my family? Who are these people? And they look nothing like you. Their skin is pale. Their hair is nothing like yours. Their language is nothing like yours, but they've signed themselves up on a piece of paper to say that they're you. They've assumed your identity. And they're of no relation. Now we get this. People that feel like they can sit up here and talk in front of us as if they're esteemed or fathered into the bloodline through, you don't understand the birthright and the curse. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're gonna get there. We're gonna keep unfolding this till it all just lay out like fresh hot sheets on a new bed. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna lay out in front of you. You're gonna be like, man, heck no. But I'm telling you, it's been there the whole time. It's just laying there. It's people, it's actors. You feel me? It's actors.
And it's not about race. That's been an imposition on us. So I'm Polish and Choctaw.
You see that? Look at her. Look at her. Look at her facial expression. I'm Polish, told the truth, and then she turned around and added the lie. And Choctaw. What are you talking about? How do you know you're Choctaw? Which tribe? Because the Choctaw was a blend of the remnants of the Indians that were left after the genocide. So which tribe do you come from within the Choctaw? I guarantee you she don't know. They're just claiming ownership to one of the 5 federally recognized tribes. They just put themselves in it. You don't belong in it. You just put yourself in it. You feel me? By that Dawes roll crap. $5 Indians.
Polish.
See?
And
Truth,
Choctaw.
the lie.
So
See?
half and half?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That woman look nothing like a Choctaw Indian. Choctaws were southeastern. That's the southeastern part of the United States. The only description of Choctaw, Cherokee, Muskogean, what What else? Choctaw, Cherokee, Muskogee, Mississippian. These people were dark-hued, complected people. They, like us, from the range of the Zoles, dark as a Zoe, you know what I'm saying, all the way up to our light-skinned mulatto people. That is not her. She's Polish. That's where it ended at. You feel me? That's Poland. Claim your heritage. But when you come here, it's all about stripping the original people of their value. That is what this whole game is about. Every nation on the planet comes here to strip America and take it home. The Africans do it. The Asians do it. The Hindustan people do it. The what they call Indians, you know what I'm saying? They do it. The Arabs do it. The Jews do it. The Europeans are doing it. Everybody comes to America to strip what they can and take it back home. However, it's only one group in America that is not going to any other place to strip resources to bring back to America. There's only one group because everybody's stripping those people that don't leave. That's who everybody's targeting. When the Arab comes into America, what does he open? A gas station. Where does it go? In the hood. Okay? That's where it goes. A corner store in the hood. A liquor store in the hood. A hair store in the hood. Think about it. Everybody's targeting our people. Everybody. Because that's how you get going. You see? That's how you come into America. That's how you get going. You see what I'm saying? You let these people give you their currency. You take it from them. That's how you get yourself rolling. Then when you get your credit and everything good and you built up your business credit enough, now you step over into the banking avenues and this avenue and this, and then the sky is the limit because you're a part of the nations that's helping us do this to those people. So we're going to enfranchise you to continue to help us do it more. Now we can all cross network at the top and keep them away from it and do all this other kind of divisive stuff that we think is going to keep us with wealth. No, man. No. See, you got to understand it's not going to last. It lasted for as long as it's going to last, but the gig is up. The gig is up. You got to give it up now. It's done. Unless you're going to continue to have bloodlines that have completely ended, where you have nations of people not having children. So there is no future. You understand me? There's no future. It's happening in China right now. France, same thing. And different other European countries. It's happening right now. Real time. It ain't happening to us over here. We having 30 and 40% increases over the past, 3-4 years? What? 40% increase in births among our people? Where everybody else is declining, death rate is rising, birth rate declining, and we're doing the opposite. Y'all still don't understand what's going on? Okay. Let's let her finish talking before I get ready to head out.
Something like that. Cynthia Ann Parker is probably a good example of that, right? Because she was 0% Native American, but was purely Comanche.
Right. Absolutely.
Italians are very similar. I'm Italian, but I have a last name that's Irish because I'm 1/4 Irish. So growing up around Italians, it was always like a way they made fun of me. You know, it was always a funny thing. Like, are you sure you're Italian? You know, like it's a, you know, it's like, it's a purity test. Like Italian's like a nice last name.
First of all, before we continue forward, we're going to pay homage to whoever shined up Joe Rogan head, because that mug is gleaming on top. Okay, that's the kind of shine. That's a polish. He got the shaving polish on top of your head. So we're gonna go ahead and pay homage to whoever shined up Joe Rogan head in this, because they did a marvelous job on that.
With a lot of vowels.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's what they like.
And it's really interesting. So as executive director of the Association on American Indian Affairs, we get tons of inquiries. Probably the top inquiry we get are people wanting to do DNA tests to determine what tribe they belong to. So everyone seems to want to be Indian. And even some people are emboldened enough to say, you know, hey, I did my DNA test. It says I'm Native American. Where's my Indian check?
You understand? You heard what she said? I've done my research to say I'm Native American. Where is my Indian check? Where is my Indian check? You don't understand what I'm trying. I'm trying to put. I'm giving it. The game is giving it, and then many others out there that's understanding this concept. These people have been getting paid for misclaiming, for lying on applications, for falsifying documents in order to graft themselves as something that they are not. Be wary of those that call themselves Jews that are not. Jews is not the only place where that applies to. Indians, it also applies. Be wary of those that call themselves, because the Jews, the Indians are the Jews. The Hebrew Israelites are the Indians. The Indians are the Jews. The real Jews. So you have to be wary of those that call themselves Jews that are not. They're only there to take the birthright. She just said, one drop rule. Now anybody can come and say, I'm an Indian or I'm a Native American. See, because I have my paperwork. Now where's my check? Because the Indians are supposed to get paid money every month. We don't work. We don't pay bills. We don't do that. See, we've ignorantly put ourselves in the game that's only supposed to be applied to those that are foreigners and came into the country. They pay bills. They owe the crown something for transporting them across the Atlantic Ocean. It is them that is owed. It is not our people. The Indians don't pay bills. It's not the way this works. And they know that. So they buffer you away from your birthright and then put this in front of your face to make you think that you don't belong there. And then if they remove her, they'll put one of the Mongolian Chinese looking people in there with the long straight black hair and tell you, oh, how? And he don't belong in there. He lying. But it's all about taking your birthright so they can take the wealth. It's the wealth. The greatest wealth transfer on the planet is happening right now. We're the last generation that has something that can do something about this. But we still running behind Democrats like fools. And people will say, well, neither side matters. Oh, it matters. When you have one side who can sit up here and pay for his own campaign by himself, and now he's figured out ways to fund himself, like sell a pair of shoes that sold out in 2 hours. 1 million pair of shoes at $500 a piece that sold out in 2 hours. Campaign paid for. You can't stop the spirit. You can keep trying. And a lot of these people are going to ignorantly follow the AI. They're going to ignorantly follow the false regime and follow the computers. They're going to follow the robots. You know what I'm saying? But those that ain't going, and I'm one of those that ain't going. It's treason. It's like a spit in the face for this woman to be sitting up here talking about Indian affairs, and she's not even an Indian. Yet she's getting paid from our bloodline, from the blessings that come with having this blood. She's getting paid because they've hijacked our system and lie and false and misrepresent and then treat your people as if they don't belong. When your people are the reason why they can even begin to do this in the first place.
Really? So there's so many misconceptions about what it means to be Native American.
That's a real issue?
Yes. That doesn't exist, but there's some kind of fantasy or myth that many people in the U.S. have kind of believe about Indians because we don't know. It's not like it's taught well in school. It's not like this is part of a normal dialogue.
And can you
look at her facial expressions. You see what I'm saying? Just look at her. She knows she's lying. She knows she's lying. You know, we really don't know. The books is in the archives down there at the federal level. They're in the universities. I've already explained this to you. It's in the Smithsonian. All of our artifacts, it's in the Smithsonian. UWF right down here in Pensacola has the information on the Aboriginal tribes that were here when the Spanish was coming in here doing trade, coming from Mobile over to Pensacola to do trade. They was doing trade with the Indians. Just like I just told y'all, you know what I'm saying, about Chief Tuscaloosa, Black Indian, Black warrior, that was it, what his name means. They were Black Indians. So now all of a sudden we don't know what an Indian looked like. We have no record. We don't know. See, that's that BS. And that's what you have to avoid, because we sit here and watch this as something that's esteemed. So think about all of the people that tune into Joe Rogan. They're going to take her words as if it's actual truth. And it's not the truth. Who the Indians are has been proven time and time and time and time again. But the deeper we prove it, the harder they work to make sure that the majority of our people never understand it. So they can continue to say, I'm an Indian, where's my check? Do you know that there was families, 4 and 5 people, mommy, daddy, then you got 3 little kids or whatever, and they're all Caucasian, and they claiming that one drop BS. So now all of a sudden, off of that, each member of the family gets paid $10,000 a month. So that's $50,000 a month coming into that household. Trump shut all that down because they're lying. Just like they tell us right now, the wild boars and the hogs are all invasive. Meanwhile, they slaughtering them by the hundreds and consuming all of them the same way they did in Europe. Now there are no wild boars in Europe like there used to be, and they're stripping America of the same thing. They're doing it over here, the same thing. And you think just because you can say it's a nuisance animal, that means that you can just kill all of God's life off of the planet, and that there won't be any curses for that. You can't even just be civilized, because the animal nature inside of the DNA, it never stops. It never stops. Its only desire is to be the number one thing on the planet, the highest of evolution, but that's impossible. I don't even want to finish hearing her talk, man. Annoying.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that it can really clearly identify what nation you're from.
No, DNA test can't. It
Can
cannot.
identify whether you have certain genetic traits that might be from North America, like Canada, or might be from South America as well, right?
Right. Yeah. So if you really want to learn about your history and heritage, you have to do that genealogical research. And if you weren't aware, there's 574 federally recognized tribes and about 3.
When have you ever heard that? 574 federally recognized tribes. She hit the nail on the head. Go do your genealogy. Go find a genealogist and do genealogy, American Indian genealogy, to figure out your bloodline. Because what you're going to find is they're not included in it, okay? They're not a part of it. And that your bloodline, for the most of us, especially if you're coming out of the southeastern part of the United States, your blood is pure, aborigine. There may be some mixing, like how I am, Carolinian and Alabamian. Alabamian or whatever. So those two mixing between my mom and my dad, but they're both still pure blood, especially my dad, Alabama, full blood Indian. My mom, full blood Indian. You know what I'm saying? So you're full blood Indians. If your babies are born white, if you're dark like me, you know what I'm saying, copper tone like me, and your babies are born white, you're an Indian. If you look into the sun and your eyes are like honey, you're an Indian. If you have over your skin, you got dark or melanated skin, and you got freckles all over the place and little moles all over your eyes, you're an Indian. That's Indian traits. Your hair is going to grow out like silk. Your hair is going to grow out like wool. You're Indian. We're the Indians. This is the truth that they don't want you to know. Once it's adopted and once there's a worldwide understanding on exactly what's going on here, the gig is up. It's over with. You might as well give it all back, because the curse will not stop until it has been a cleansing. It is going to return to the hands of the chosen seed. You can't stop it. You might as well just give back what you've done. give it back. But they won't. They refuse. They'll tooth and nail. No, my luxurious lifestyle that I've never had all over the planet. Now, mind you, now the Europeans in this country, they can't go anywhere. Don't nowhere want them. They can't leave and go back to Europe. How they claim Poland and all this. If they let them try to make a mass exodus back over there and see what type of resistance they get, you're not welcome here. So they have to fight for this to try to make this be but they don't understand that the land is already working against them because they refuse to give it back. You give it back to us and then let us sort out what we want to do with y'all, how y'all try to do with us in our own land. And let's see how that works out. Now, look, y'all, we could go for this all day because I got like video after video after video, but I got to get up out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? This has been dope, man. So I appreciate, who is that? Hold on, let me see. Oh, sound. Oh, okay. The sound went out. Okay. It should be back now, hopefully. Hopefully the sound is back on. I didn't even know it went out. Let me see. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and clock out here. Clock out. I'm gonna go ahead and log off here. But I will be back next week, and hopefully more will be in with us, so we can discuss. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I guess we're gonna have like two or three more shows of conspiracy theories. We got some things to get into spiritually, and you already know how we do. And we'll be back, and we'll see y'all next week. You guys be good, and yeah, peace.